everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make caramel filled chocolates. So the ingredients that we have right here are 1/4 cup of butter, and this butter is at room temperature. Then we have 3/4 cup of tightly packed brown sugar. You can either use light or dark brown sugar, it doesn't really matter, but I have light brown sugar. Then we have 1/3 cup of light corn syrup, and 3/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk, and then we're also going to be using half a teaspoon of vanilla. And this is pure vanilla, not imitation vanilla. So now we're going to start off. I'm going to show you how to make the caramel filling. Okay, so to my pot I'm going to add my 1/4 cup of room temperature butter, and we're just going to let this melt, and I have my heat on medium. So we're just going to let this melt down. Okay, so our butter is all melted. To this butter, you want to add your 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Just add it in there. And just break it up. And also you want to add your 1/3 cup of corn syrup. And then your 3/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk. And this makes a lot of caramel or caramel, however you guys pronounce it. So if you're not going to use all of this, you can just freeze it up in the freezer and use it for later, or you can just add this as a topping to like ice cream or cake or whatever. But this should be plenty for our filling for our caramels. So I'm going to let this cook until it comes to a light bubbly boil. But you just want to mix this all together till it is well combined. And I have my heat on medium. So our caramel is at a light bubbly boil, and this is what you want it to look like once it's done. So I started to use a whisk to help break down like the brown sugar in there, because once you make, like when you're making this, you'll notice like little speckles of like brown. That's just the brown sugar that you just need to break up in there. And also you want to be careful not to burn the caramel at the bottom, because that will also leave little brown speckles in your caramel. So this is what it looks like, and now it is done. I let it cook for about 10 minutes on low while I stirred it to make sure that it doesn't burn. So I just basically just did this to keep it from burning. Now you don't want to cook it too long, because you don't want it to be very like hard to like fill your molds with. You want it like a nice consistency. And this is what it looks like. And we're going to take it off the heat and add a teaspoon of vanilla. Well, half a teaspoon of vanilla. You can add more if you like, but I'm just going to add a half teaspoon. And that, just stir it up. And that is our caramel. And I will just sit it to the back and let it cool down before I fill my molds with this. So next I'm going to show you how to temper chocolate to fill your chocolate molds. Okay everyone, I'm back. So here I have a pot of water and I have it on medium heat. So I fill the pot up just a little bit of water, and you want to make sure that the water is not touching the bottom of your bowl, and this is the bowl I'm going to be using today. And as you can see, the water is not touching my bowl, and that's what you want. So I'm gonna let this come to a boil, then I'm gonna turn it down to let it simmer. So the chocolate that I will be using today is this brand. Now you can use whatever brand chocolate you want, and you can use dark chocolate, semi-sweet, white chocolate, whatever chocolate you like you can use. But I'm using this brand, and I'm also using milk chocolate. Okay, so I have my water coming to a boil. Now I'm just going to put my bowl over it. Then you want to add at least 3/4 of the bag to the bowl. You don't want to add all of the chocolate in. You want to save some over. So that should be enough, and I have about that much chocolate left over. Let me add a little bit more. Okay, that should be fine. So I have this much left over, and I'm going to save that for later. So I'm going to just melt my chocolate down. Okay, so my chocolate is almost melted. It's still a little bit of pieces in there. But once your chocolate is melted, you want to take it off the heat and put it to the side. You do want to be careful because you may burn yourself from the steam that's coming up on the sides of the bowl. And if your water is boiling too much, just turn it down because you don't want it to boil after you put your chocolate in the bowl to melt. So once my chocolate is done, I'm just going to take it off now. So my chocolate is completely melted. So now you want to add the remaining of your chocolate to this melted chocolate. And then you just want to stir it in. And you just want to melt down the chocolate that you added to this. And it shouldn't take that long to melt it down. Start by showing you how I fill the molds. Okay, so for this chocolate, you want some type of mold. The mold that I'm using is this, and I just got it from Joann's Fabric. It was like $1 and some change. I did wanted a silicone one, but I could not find a silicone one, so fortunately I have to use this one. So hopefully it turns out pretty good. Then this is my favorite one. You can also get this at your local craft store. I'm not going to be using the ones that you see that are wet. I'm just going to be using the circle ones. I dried them out already. So for this mold, you do want to polish it. So what I mean by polishing, you just take a paper towel and just do this. Just like polish each one. So if you have one that's like made out of ceramic, you also want to polish it as well. It helps the chocolate get a little shine to it. Polish it. This one you don't have to polish. Oops, camera, sorry. So after I'm finished polishing this, I'm going to show you how I decorate it. Okay, so I went ahead and put a pair of gloves on. What I have on my hand are latex free, BPA free, and they're good for cooking. They're also powder free, so they're really good for using when handling food. And you do want a pair of gloves on when you do this. So the type of chocolate that I have, type of decoration that I have is this Color Mist Shimmering Food Color Spray. You can get this at Walmart, or you can get this at some type of Hobby Lobby type store. Then I have some red chocolate, red colored white chocolate, and then I just have plain white chocolate. So let's start off. I'm going to take some of the red white chocolate, and just put my finger in it like this. You don't want too much, just a little. Then I'm gonna take this and just do like a little swoosh. Nothing like fancy. So get in there and swish it around. You don't want a lot. You're just using this as like to add like some like decoration to your chocolate. So I went ahead and did some white ones. So here is my mold. Now you want to take the color mist. Now you can get this in any color that you want. You can get it in like silver, purple, pink, but I just got the gold. And I'm going to lay some paper towels down on my counter so I won't get any spray on it. Okay? Now you want to take your spray and just spray your molds. You don't want to get too close to it. And then after you're done spraying it, you just want to sit it out so it can air dry to get so it can evaporate a little. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna spray over here. It really didn't get much coloring as I wanted. So I'm just going to let that dry. Now I'm going to do this mold. That to the side. So I'm going to spray this mold before I put the chocolate in, because I want to see what it looks like. The two looks like differently, so I'm going to spray this one first. Oops, I got white chocolate in there. And the reason why I turn it like this, because I don't want the food mist coloring to just sit at the bottom. I want it, whatever's left over that's not sticking to the side, to run out of it. So that's why I turn it upside down, if you wonder why I do that. So I'm going to spray the side a little bit. These I'm actually not going to put any chocolate, any white or red chocolate into this. I like how they look, like this. Very pretty. So now we're just going to let this air dry to evaporate all of the alcohol out of it, because if you go to fill these molds with the alcohol in it, there's no point, because the chocolate is just going to run the coloring off the sides and it's just going to look a mess. So you do want this to dry before you add your chocolate into it. So I'm just going to let that dry. Okay, I am back and my molds are completely dry, as you can see. There's that one, and here's this one. So what I have here is a cutting board that I just wrapped in some plastic wrap, and I also have my chocolate that I just put into a squeezable bottle. So now I'm just going to fill these molds with my chocolate. And if you think your chocolate is getting too cold, just take it and retemper. As you can see, it's still little bubbles coming out, so it's not completely out. look at the bottom. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna take it and just flip it over like I did the other one to let the chocolate run out. I'm gonna check this one. The chocolate is running out. So what you want to do, now that your chocolate has completely filled the mold, you just want to take a offset spatula and just scrape all of that extra chocolate off. And then you're going to just turn it right back over. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so our mold is all set and ready for filling. And here, I just put the caramel filling. So this bottle isn't the best because the lid pops off easily, but you can use a piping bag, or you can just take a sandwich bag and just let me show you. Take like a bag like this and just cut off the end, hold it like this, and just pipe your filling. But since I already filled this, I'm just going to go ahead and be careful, like carefully fill the inside of these molds. And you do want your filling to be not hot because you don't want it to melt your chocolates. And if you do find that your filling is too hot, just try to hurry up and just throw it in the fridge to cool it down. And this is a very thick caramel filling. It's not runny at all. So I'm going to just fill up one mold for you guys, and then I'll fill up the rest later. So just take your filling. Hold on. Yeah, I don't like this bottle at all. Yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so that bottle didn't work as well, so I went ahead and just put it into a bag. Yeah, this works way better. So you don't want to fill your molds all the way because you want to have a little bit left over to cover the bottom with the chocolate. So I'm just going to fill one more for you guys. Okay, so now you just want to tap it and try to get that filling to set. So I'm just going to set this to the side and I'll be back to show you the other mold. Okay, this mold is ready. You want to be careful filling this because you don't want the bag to like bust open from you squeezing it too hard. So yeah, don't go and buy those bottles because they don't work unless I'm just not using it correctly. They don't work for this type of candy, I should say, maybe because it's too thick. There we go. Molds are nice and filled. And this one was just, I accidentally filled this one by accident, so I'm not going to even use that one. So, just want to get that filling in there as much as possible. Okay, so now for this, you can also put the chocolate into a baggie as well, but you just want to go ahead and fill the molds up with chocolate. The molds are all filled with chocolate, and then you just want to go ahead and tap it to even it out. Put a little bit more on this one. Then I'm going to take this spatula and then just scrape off any leftover chocolate. Oops. There you go. There we go. I'm just gonna let this sit and set up, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like. This is our second mold that just has the gold on it. To make it a little bit easier, you can just take the chocolate and pour it over, but since I'm not using all of these molds, I did not want to waste the chocolate by doing that. So now I'm just going to take and do the same thing that I did with the other one. Okay, so my chocolate is ready to be unmolded. I let it sit for a good 25 minutes. And here it is. So the silicone molds tend to be a little bit more easier to get the chocolate out. That's why I like using this. So I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna get the chocolate out of the other mold, but we will see. So I'm really excited. Ooh, look at this. That's so pretty. We're just gonna pop them out. Those are so pretty. Look at those. Turned out so nice. Oops. So nice. So guys, this is what those chocolates look like after I took them out of this mold. So I don't like this mold at all. I prefer to use the silicone mold because it's so much easier to take the chocolates out. So if you do get a bonbon mold, try to get a silicone one. But the chocolates turned out beautiful. I like how they look with the gold on them, and the red and the white. Now you can use whatever colors you want to use. You can also do like a splatter effect. You can design them however you want as well. But this is how I designed them today, and I think they turned out gorgeous. So I'm going to cut one open for you guys to show you what the middle looks like. Okay. And this is what the middle looks like. Look at that. Now this is a very rich caramel. It's not runny at all, as you can see. It stays in place. So these chocolates, I will store them in the fridge because there's no like preservatives in them. So I'm just going to keep them in the fridge. But I think they turned out beautiful. And you can use this as a nice gift. You can package them in a nice little box, put a little bow on it, or you can just serve them as this, as like a dessert. But thank you for watching my channel. If you have any questions about how I made these, or you're not quite sure of the steps that I used in this video, just comment below and I'll reply back to whatever questions you have. I will be uploading another video soon on how to make peanut butter filled chocolates. So if you would like to watch that video, just press subscribe and thumbs up for this video, and keep on the lookout for my next upload. Thank you and have a nice day.